Hello all you beautiful people, how you doing here today? This love it temptress and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome, hi! Today we're going to go over part 2 of a mod called Simple Farming. If you missed part 1, we went over how to get all the crop seeds, what they are, how to get the trees and bushes and all that. So, and what to breed your animals with because it adds all that. So if you missed that, I will have the link down below and a little card above so you can check that out on how to get everything. So today we're actually going to go over crafting recipes. I'm going to try not to split it into 2 parts, but we'll see how long it takes us. As you can see, there are a lot of recipes, including these up here. All right, so let's get started with something super cute. This little guy is a scarecrow, and he is super useful because it prevents crop tramplings in a 10-block radius. So no more do you have to worry about going up to your crops and stomping on it here and accidentally destroying your farm. Nobody likes that, right? All right, so now we can make this cute little scarecrow. And his recipe is a carved pumpkin, it does have to be carved, with 2 leather, a hay bale, and it can be any of the hay bales, and we'll go over all those. So any of the hay bales and a stick, and that is for our cute little scarecrow that helps us not to trample our crops. So then we have the different types of bales. The barley one, they're all going to be made the same way. Typical way, just like a regular hay bale would be, but this is what they look like. So this is the barley one. This is the oat one. Oat is of course, very, very similar to the regular hay bale. A little bit darker in color though. This one is the rice one, and then the rye one. Then we also have these fruit logs. How do you get the fruit logs? By the cutting down the fruit trees. So you'll notice on the fruit trees, the logs are quite a bit different. So when you cut those down, then you can actually use these logs for other stuff. Like, for instance, this brewing barrel that is going to come in so very handy. So for the brewing barrel, it's going to be 4 of those fruit logs, a barrel in the middle, 3 iron ingots, and a bucket. And that is going to make this brewing barrel that we are going to use for a lot of different things. But we're going to have to go over some of the crafting recipes first because, well, we need to know how to make some of it to brew it. Then we have this fantastic birthday cake. These cakes can all be set down just like the regular cakes, and I think this is just fantastic, even just for decorations. So, real quick, let's go over the recipe here because we need that for the birthday cake. So for the sprinkles, you're going to use sugar and a dye, and I do believe on this one, yeah, it's any of the dyes. So it doesn't matter what color you use. You just put it with a sugar, and that's how you get your sprinkles. So for the birthday cake, you're going to need 2 sprinkles, a torch, 2 sugar, an egg, and any of the grains that go here. So, and again, if you have this installed, you'll see it's any of the grains here will work. So, and it makes this adorable little birthday cake that even if I didn't want to eat it, I would simply put it out for decoration. Yeah. So next we have the chocolate cake, which of course is adorable. Not as cute as the birthday cake, I'm going to say, but it is so totally adorable. So for this one, we're going to need chocolate. And for the chocolate recipe, hold on, let's go find the chocolate recipe real quick. Here we go. Nope, that's sausage. Chocolate recipe is, I told you there's a lot. And we passed it. All right, hold on, let me find the chocolate recipe. Okay, somehow I had left that one out. So, chocolate is milk, sugar, and cocoa beans. So then we need 3 sugar, 3 chocolate, 2 sugar, an egg, and any of the barley, the grains again, to make our cake, and that is the chocolate cake. For the next one, we have a wheel of cheese, which is so very cool. And if you try to harvest it, you will get slices of cheese. So we need one ingredient for this one, and that is this one right here. We need vinegar. So to make vinegar, you need a glass bottle and barley. So it takes barley, rye, rice, wheat, apple. So the grains or an apple to make the vinegar. So to make our cheese, we need a bucket of milk and a vinegar. Basically, curdling it makes our wheel of cheese. And again, if you go to take off a slice like you would a cake, it actually gives you the cheese slice that you can then use in recipes or just plain eat. And it gives you about 2 little satisfaction. I'm just going to hover over these because it's going to take us forever. But this mod also adds a music disc. I'm not going to play it for you, but it also adds that for you to listen to. All right, so let's start going over recipes. There are a ton of them, including some fermenting recipes that we make in that barrel. All right, so first of all, we have some some curry powder, excuse me. It's pepper, cumin seeds, and ginger, and each recipe makes 2. Then we have some jam. So this actually takes all different kinds of fruit. So any of the fruits that are in here, you can make a jam. So it's simply a bottle combined with a fruit, including the cactus fruit. We went over sprinkles. Next is olive oil, which is a glass bottle and olives from the tree. Then we just went over the vinegar. Next, we have noodles, which is just any of the grains. And you can see that by clicking here and if you have JEI installed. All right, next we have apple pie, which is simply an apple, egg, and sugar. Then you'll notice a theme here. We have apricot pie, which is an apricot, egg, and sugar. That is going to be the way with each of the pies, but I will have them laid out just to show you. Next, if we put our sweet potatoes here in the furnace, it'll give us baked sweet potatoes, which are quite a bit better to eat. And then if we do the same with the yams, it'll give us the baked yams, which of course are quite a bit better to eat. Next, we have banana bread, which is going to be 2 of the grains with a banana in the middle. Now, this, we can make all the different kinds of bread. This one is barley bread, so it's going to be the same recipe as normal bread, just with the grain that you're using. So this one is the barley bread. Next, we have beef and broccoli, which is simply a steak with 2 broccoli on either side. And it gives you a lot of food and saturation. Next, we have beef curry, which again, a lot of food and saturation. So it's a steak with 2 curry powder and rice. Now this one does specifically have to be rice. So, and then we have another pie, blackberry, egg, and sugar for a blackberry pie. Then if you take pork chops, you can actually get bacon. Each pork chop will give you 2 bacon. And of course, you can throw it in the furnace and cook it up for some nice cooked bacon. It's okay to eat, but it's better for some of the recipes. Then we have a BLT. So bread, lettuce, the cooked bacon, and tomato, just like you would actually make a BLT. And of course, you'll notice all these recipes, if you cook and put more ingredients together, you're going to have more saturation and food hunger completed. Next, we have borscht. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It is a bowl, 2 beetroots, potato, and onion. Then we have another pie. This one is blueberry, sugar, and egg for the blueberry pie. Next, we have broccoli cheese soup. This one isn't too bad, but it's simply a bowl, broccoli, and cheese, so it would be pretty easy to make. Next up, we have a Caesar salad. This one's pretty good, and it has lettuce. You do have to cook the chicken, cheese slice, and complete it with a bowl. Next, we have some candy. So it's 2 sugar with a chocolate in the middle. And then we have candy canes, which is Well, you just put your sugar in the shape of a candy cane. They're not that satisfying, but of course they're kind of fun to make. Next, we have carrot soup, which is just 2 carrots with a bowl. Next up is cassavana cake. It is a bucket of milk, an egg, and a cassavana. Then we have a hamburger, which gives us quite a bit of food and saturation again. So bread, steak, tomato, and lettuce. And I do believe this one, it is any of the breads that you make. Oh, also it is any of the, so lettuce or spinach. It's basically salad ingredients. Then you can combine it with a cheese slice and have a cheeseburger, which gives you 11 bars and 17 saturation. Another pie, this one is cherries, so cherries, egg, and sugar. Then we have some chicken curry. This one is a cooked chicken, 2 curry powder, and rice. And again, I do believe this one, yeah, has to be rice. Next, we have chicken noodle soup. Yummy. So 2 of those noodles, cooked chicken, and a bowl. Then we have chicken parmesan. I love this in real life. So this is a cooked chicken, cheese slice, rice, egg, and tomato. And I do note this one can be any of the grains also. I thought that one had to be the rice, but no. Next, we have chicory gratin. So this is cheese slice, 2 barley, 2 chicory root, and onion. And for this one, it can be any of the grains also. Then we have fish and chips. So it has to be a cooked, and it's cooked cod or salmon. And then potatoes and grain. As you saw there, the grains do change, so you can have grain for that one too. Then we have a cooked egg, which of course is just by cooking your eggs in a furnace. It's an okay to eat, but it's even better for recipes. Then we have cooked horse meat. Cooked horse meat. Let me say that properly. Excuse me. I don't know why if you kill your horses, you can make this. I don't know that I recommend it, but you can. So it's not bad for food and saturation. So maybe if you're desperate, just starting out, or maybe if you just want to kill that annoying horse, who knows? Then we have sausage. So take a raw beef and put it in, and you get 2 raw sausage. And then of course you can cook it and get cooked sausage. Next we have cornbread. Love some cornbread. And for this one, it is any of the grains with a corn in the middle. Next we have corn salad, which is a bowl, 2 corn. I believe it's any of the lettuce. Yeah, so lettuce or spinach, and then tomato. Next up, we have cucumber soup, which is just simply a bowl and 2 cucumbers. Not too bad and easy to make. Then we have an egg sandwich. Here's one of the ones I was saying if you use the fried egg. So a cooked egg, bread, and cooked bacon. And it does use any of those types of bread. Next up, we have eggplant parmesan. So cheese slice in the middle, 2 eggplants, 2 tomatoes, and an egg. Very nice. Then if you put chicken in, you can get raw chicken wings. It does give you 2, but if you cook them, then it's even better, and it gives you a little bit more hunger, but it's also better for recipes. So then we also have a fish fillet. Now this one, it's cod or salmon. It does have to be cooked with the grains on the outside. Those are also exchangeable for any of the grains, and it'll give you fish fillet, which isn't too bad to eat. Next up, we have the fish sandwich. So bread, tomato, lettuce, and cooked, again, salmon or cod. And again, it can be lettuce or spinach and any of the bread types. Then, well, we have fried calamari. So the calamari, of course, you get by killing the squids. And if you cook it in the furnace, it will give you the fried version. Next, we have fried rice. So this one, I believe, has to be, has to be the rice, but the vegetable can be exchanged, and then a fried egg. Then we have the fruit salad. So a bowl and any 3 fruits. Does not even have to be matching fruits like they show here. It can be different ones. Then we have a golden habanero. So it's a habanero surrounded by gold nuggets. Yeah, I wouldn't want to eat that. Then you can also make a hot dog. So any of the breads along with a cooked sausage. Next up, ice cream sundae. So a bucket of milk, 2 sugar, 2 snowballs, bananas, and cherries. And they do have to be specific ones because, well, it's supposed to be like a banana split. Then we have the Italian beef, which gives us quite a bit of hunger and saturation points. It is bread, steak, cheese, and pepper. And of course, the bread can be exchanged with any of the breads. And the peppers can also be exchanged. Next up, we have Jaffa Cakes. Yummy. So sugar, egg, orange, and chocolate. Exactly what you think of when you think of a Jaffa Cake. Next, we have lasagna, which gives us 12 hunger points and 20 saturation. So excellent one to make. It is a cheese slice with 2 noodles, 2 tomato, and a cooked steak. Then we have mac and cheese, which is one of my hubby's favorites. And it's just 2 noodles with a cheese slice. Next, we have a marshmallow. Yeah, you know we had to have those in here. So marshmallow root, egg, and sugar. Then we have mushroom barley. This one does have to be 2 barley. And then a mushroom. It's any of the mushrooms, so the red or brown will work. But the barley, it does have to be barley for that one. Then we have mutton curry, and this one has to be the rice. But then cooked mutton and 2 curry powder. And it does give us 13 saturation and quite a few hunger points. Then we have oatmeal. It's 2 oats and a bowl, and of course, because it's oatmeal, it does have to be oats. Here's another one of the breads, the oat. Then we have olive tomato salad. So it's a bowl, tomatoes, and olives. Then we have onion soup, which is simply a bowl with 2 onions. Then we can cook the soybeans, and it'll give us tofu. Next up is pad thai, which is 2 noodles, a tofu, broccoli, lettuce, and an egg. One of my favorites, pancakes. So this one is any of the grains, but then sugar, bucket of milk, and an egg. Then we have pasta, which is just combining 3 of the noodles together. And PB&J. This one does work for any of the breads. And then jam, of course, you can make from any of the fruits, and a peanut. Next, we have pea soup, which is simply 2 peas with a bowl. Then we have peanut butter cookies. Yum, yum. 2 oats and peanut. And I do believe this, nope, it can be any of the grains. I actually thought that one had to be the oats. So, nope, any of the grains will work. Then there's peanut butter pie. So, peanut, sugar, and egg. I think that sounds good. I want to try that in real life. And then we have pear pie, which pear, sugar, and egg. Then we have a pickle, which is by taking vinegar and a cucumber. I think that's so cool. Then we have pickled beetroot, which is by taking vinegar and beetroot. And probably one of my favorites on here, pizza. Although it's not the best for getting the hunger and saturation points. But it is any of the grains, cheese slice, any of the, it does have to be spinach. I thought you could use lettuce on this one. But I guess that wouldn't make sense on a pizza. And a tomato. Next, we have another pie. This one is plum, so a plum, sugar, and egg. Then this one's kind of fun. If you take the corn seeds and cook it in the furnace, you can actually make popcorn. It's not very fulfilling, but it's kind of cool. Then we have pork curry, which gives us quite a bit of food and saturation points. So it is 2 curry powder, a cooked pork chop, and 3 rice. And for this one, it does have to be the rice. Next up, we have potato quiche, which is 2 potatoes, an onion, barley, and egg, and that barley can actually be any of the grains. Then we have pulled pork sandwich, which gives us quite a bit of hunger and saturation points. So any of the bread, cooked pork chop, lettuce, and onion, and let's see, so that can be lettuce or spinach. Then we have pumpkin soup, which is just combining a pumpkin with a bowl. Next up is quinoa salad, which is simply 3 quinoa seeds with a bowl. Next, we have radish soup, which is 3, 4, 5, 6 radishes. I don't know why I had to count that one with a bowl. That one, I don't think is the best, but there you go. Then we have raisins, which you get, of course, just by cooking the grapes, and it gives you some fabulous raisins. Then we have raspberry pie, which of course is raspberries, sugar, and egg. Next is a rice bowl, which is simply a bowl to rice. Then we also have the sorghum bread, which cannot be used in all the different recipes, but it is sorghum with 2 of the grains. So the grains on the other side don't matter, but the sorghum has to be in the middle. Then we have a simple salad, which is a bowl and 6 lettuce. Not too terribly bad. So if you had 1 crop to plant, I guess lettuce would be it. Then we have a sandwich. Just a generic sandwich, but it gives us pretty good food and saturation. So it's any of the breads. It does have to be a cooked chicken. The lettuce can be lettuce or spinach, and a tomato. Next, we have sausage barley soup. Now, this one does have to be barley, but the vegetables here can be exchanged with any of the vegetables available. But then it's a bowl and cooked sausage for sausage barley soup. Next up, we have sorghum porridge, which is 2 sorghum with a bowl. Then we have some lovely spaghetti. So 2 of the noodles with a tomato. Next is spinach mushroom quiche. This sounds so yummy, I just want to eat it right now. Of course, this does have to be spinach on either side. The mushroom is exchangeable, along with the 2 grains on the side are exchangeable, but then you also need an egg. Then we have spinach quinoa quiche. Again, this one, it has to be spinach, and it has to be the quinoa on here. So 3 quinoa with an egg. Spinach quinoa quiche, excuse me. Then we have a squash casserole, 2 squash, onion, 2 barley, and an egg, and the barley can actually be any of the grains. Next up is squash soup, which is simply 6 squash with a bowl. Then we have squid ink pasta, 3 noodles with 2 ink sacs. Apparently this must be a thing because it's in a lot of the food recipes. I've never heard of it though. Then we have another pie. This one's strawberries, so strawberries, sugar, and egg. Next up we have stuffed corn zucchini, which sounds very good, and I would probably like to try that. 2 corn, a tomato, and zucchini. Then we have some sushi. So dried kelp, rice, and cooked salmon. And the salmon can be salmon or cod. Well, this one can actually be any of the fish. Never mind. It can be cooked or the raw. Interesting. Then we have sweet potato quinoa cakes, which is a sweet potato, quinoa, and onion. And yeah, it has to be the onion, not any type of vegetable. But next we have the Tofu Scramble. Now this one is an onion, tomato, and tofu. Then we have trail mix. So those raisins, peanut, and chocolate, just like trail mix should be. Next up is tomato soup, which is 2 tomatoes with a bowl. Then we have turnip beetroot gratin. 2 turnips, an onion, 2 beetroots, and a cheese slice. Next, we have vegetable curry. So it is 3 rice, 2 curry powder, and onion. Then we have a vegetable medley, which is a bowl with 3 vegetables. It can be any 3. Like I did here, it does not even have to be the same, just any 3 of the vegetables. Then we have a Veggie Burger, which gives us quite a bit of food and saturation, which is tofu, bread, tomato, and lettuce. And the lettuce can be lettuce or spinach, and the bread can be any of the bread types. Then we have zucchini bread, and this one is any of the grains with a zucchini in the middle. And last of these recipes is chili, which is a bowl, steak, pepper, and tomato. Gives us quite a bit of, not too much food, but quite a bit of saturation. Okay, one other thing we need to go over is these brewing barrels. So the brewing barrels will look just like these when you craft them. But when you put something inside, so for instance, if I were to take this, this is to make beer. So if I take barley over here and I put it inside here, what's going to happen is this process does take a while. So you'll see it in the barrel and then eventually it will close. Now my ticks are set pretty high, so it does it a little bit faster. Then once it closes, you'll notice all these particle effects that come off of it. And then when it stops doing the particle effects, like over here, then it is done. So how do you get the stuff out of the barrels? Well, you simply take an empty glass bottle and click on it. So then it'll give you whatever it is that you're brewing. So for instance, we got a beer, and let me get out of that. For the beer, does not tell us the recipe. Hold on. Okay, so for the beer, it does have to be barley, but that is to brew beer, which the good is it gives you strength if you were to drink this. So if I were to drink this right now, you'll see I have added strength. Next, we have the Cayenne. Hopefully I'm saying that right. This gives you jump boost, and you make it by putting cassavana in your barrel. Next, we're going to make some cider, which makes sense because you're going to put an apple in the barrel. Gives you luck. For haste, you're going to want to make mead, which is putting honeycombs in the barrel. Next is sake, which gives you speed, and you have to put rice in the barrel. Then for tiswin, gives you health boost. You use cactus fruit in the barrel. For the vodka, vodka gives you resistance. You put potatoes in the barrel. For whiskey, it gives you absorption. You put wheat in the barrel. And for wine, it gives you regeneration, and you're going to use the grapes in the barrel. Now, those are all the good things it does, but it does have possible bad side effects. So, for instance, if I were to go through, grab all these and drink them all, let me just, this will have our good effects, but one of them just gave me, and it's just a random chance, but you'll notice here it shows it up at the top, but if you go into your inventory, I actually got poison from one of those. So you have to be careful what you're drinking. Even though you get the good effects, these are some of the possible bad side effects. So weakness, blindness, wither, mining fatigue, poison, hunger, and unluck. see, we got weakness from one of them too. So we got a couple bad side effects from those. So with the good, sometimes comes the bad. Sometimes, like when I drank the beer here, sometimes you won't get anything, but there is always a possibility, especially if you drink a whole bunch of them. There is a possibility of you also getting bad side effects, so keep that in mind. All right, that is it for this mod Simple Farming, but the next video you might want to take a look because it combines simple farming and farmer's delight. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with the notification bell so you can see when all the new videos come out. And of course, if you found any of this helpful at all, don't forget to smash that like button to let others know that this was actually very helpful. So thank you. All right, that is going to be it for this one. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. Also, if you'd like to see a certain mod, a spotlight or tutorial of, leave that down below too. All right, this is Lava Temptress. Until next time, don't get burned. Bye!